All right, travelers, and welcome back to a fantastic new episode of The Long Road.
Woo!
Starting things out, we got some news for you guys, and actually Logan doesn't even know this one. This is actually going to be my last show.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I've already found my replacement, man. It's okay.
You didn't want to tell me?
It's my replacement is going to be my evil twin Gerald. He's waving the knife. Hold on.
What? You have an evil twin? I've known you for years. How do you have an evil What's going on right now? Hello?
Hello.
What?
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 I'm Gerald. I'm taking Tyler's place. That's what my knife told him.
What's with the nose?
I'm a clown. I'm evil. That's what we do.
How are you an evil clown? Clowns aren't evil.
Well, no, not being a clown, just that, but other things.
Like?
I put ketchup on my steak.
Well, that's not that evil. People like weird things.
I don't much care for SpongeBob. How about that, big boy?
Well, how about you're 30? Who cares?
The Big Lebowski was a shit-ass movie.
I'm out. Podcast over. Hello, travelers, and welcome back to another episode of The Long Road. I'm your host, Logan. Parker is currently taking care of his evil twin, Gerald, with a J. He has a knife problem, and, well, there's no easy way to put this than,
Oh, God.
Whoa, Parker's back.
Sorry about that, man. Gerald,
Did you get taken care of?
Yeah. He's in the car. The child locks are on. He's kind of scary when he gets a hold of a knife.
Well, good thing you can't figure out child locks. That's just one weakness.
Knows his way around a knife. No idea how child locks work.
Nope, no idea.
So
we back.
Yeah. Oh my God. I seriously, I thought he was going to get me this time.
He might. One of these days.
Fucking Gerald. He's just pissed that it starts with a J.
Oh yeah.
It's Jerold. J.
That's the worst name ever. I'd probably be the evil twin if my name was Gerald with J.
In all fairness, you're right. If names were reversed, I'd be.
Yeah.
So anyway, now that you guys met Gerald, yeah. Welcome to the new episode of The Long Road. Sorry we missed you guys last week. I was busy. That was all on me.
Life happens.
I had a weekend fire school that I had to go to, which meant taking care of a whole bunch of stuff all through the week, getting ready for that.
Oh yeah, that's a ton of work.
Yeah.
How was it?
Man, do you really want to get me started?
Hey man.
I'm gonna preface it with this. Aleister Crowley was a goddamn hero of World War II.
Okay.
So I'm taking this. I'm supposed to be taking a class on like domestic threats for first responders, and I think this is like homegrown terrorism and domestic terror groups and that sort of thing.
Right.
It was really bad. It was them talking about just how all Muslims are bad at first.
Okay.
Like I only took it the first night, and then I switched to a different class the next day. The first 2 hours was about how Muslims are bad, and the second one was how all of our politicians and stuff are Satanists, and how Aleister Crowley's this really bad dude. Okay, unfortunately for these two old ass motherfuckers, spoiler, I've said before that I'm like low-key weird fans of the show there. The occult is a hobby of mine, and it all actually started. Anybody that's reading the Harry Potter books knows about the legend of Nicholas Flamel, the guy that created the Philosopher's Stone that allows you to transmute lead into gold.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. Here's what we know about the actual Nicholas Flamel, because at this time there were censuses done. We did know of an actual Nicholas Flamel. during this time frame. Nicholas Flamel was an orphan. He lived on the streets till he was 14. At 14, he leaves Paris, which is where he was from, and he goes to Prague to study alchemy, which at the time, being an alchemist was actually like, that was a legitimate job. Like, these people, while their goal, I'm oversimplifying, there's way more to it than that, but their goal was to like transmute metals into other metals. A lot of the things that they did laid the foundations for modern chemistry. So anyway, what we know is at 14, he goes to Prague to study alchemy.
Right.
Okay. In his mid-30s, I think it was 34, he comes back to Paris. Nobody knows where he's been other than like that he was leaving to go to Prague. But when he shows back up, he has enough gold that he builds like 20 hospitals throughout France to like help the poor and stuff.
Right.
Now, where's the gold come from? I'm not talking about like money. Like he had like raw gold. Yeah. So a lot of people think, all right, so there's two thoughts on this. That
a lot of people think he did it.
Yeah. It's either A, he developed the Philosopher's Stone. That's how he was able to make the Philosopher's Stone. Or he made the Philosopher's Stone. That's where he got the gold, opened the hospitals. Cool.
Right, cool.
Some people think that he probably found the gold somewhere, like in his journeys, like found an untapped mine, which is highly unlikely.
I doubt that.
But then he comes back with the gold that he found, and him coming back with the gold that he found and the fact that he left to study alchemy is what leads to the legends of Nicholas Flamel and the Philosopher's Stone. Fans of Harry Potter, I know what you're screaming right now, like, oh, it's the Sorcerer's Stone. Yes, the book is the Sorcerer's Stone. However, I technically didn't read that one. I read Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone because the first one I read was
the OG.
Yeah, it was the British version because my best friend at the time, Ricky, his parents were British. He had the first one in the British print. That was the one I read. I've not technically read Philosopher's Stone. I read Sorcerer's Stone. It's kind of cool thing.
You said it backwards.
What?
You said you read Sorcerer's Stone.
Oh yeah, the other way. I read the Philosopher's Stone, not Sorcerer's Stone. Anyways. So this leads me down this weird rabbit hole of like the alchemists and what they believed and stuff like that. And this led me to some interesting facts. Zildjian, the symbol maker, is one of the oldest companies in the world, and they actually started making alchemy tools back in the day.
Oh.
So there's a lot of interesting stuff with that. Anyway, my diving down that rabbit hole led me to stories like the Red Golem of Prague and the crazy clock that I can't remember, and then the church in Prague that has like the fossilized arm hanging over from like the entryway. Supposedly a thief was trying to steal some golden altar pieces, and the painting of the Virgin Mary reached out and grabbed his arm and wouldn't let go.
Sweet.
Until they cut it off, and so it hangs in the church door. So that whole like rabbit hole led me down to Hermetic traditions, which is what like alchemy is kind of based on, and it's more than just turning lead into gold. It's about turning yourself into something more, to being like, it's assuming that the soul is lead, and you're trying to turn your soul into gold by being like this good person. Like the whole like lead into gold is a metaphor to being a better person, and then that leads me down all kinds of rabbit holes. So anyway, long story short, the occult is a hobby, and absolutely everything that this woman said was batshit bananas. Her line of thinking is how we got the West Memphis 3, and for those of you that aren't familiar with that, Google it, go on YouTube. For those of you not familiar with the West Memphis 3, it was 3 teens in West Memphis, Arkansas, because West Memphis is on the other side of the Mississippi from Memphis, Tennessee. They're charged with the murder of 2 8-year-old boys who were like bound and gutted and left in a river. Now, being a former like edgy, weird, get a rise out of people like teenager, that's what they were. The biggest reason they target them is because the one guy had like an Iron Maiden poster or something like that, and so like they just automatically like, oh my god, they're the ones that did it. They found a knife in the pond behind one of the guy's houses. It was a serrated blade. The blade used to gut the boys was a straight blade. the law
Amateur
enforcement officers withheld that.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, no, it's bad because what ends up happening is the West Memphis Three end up spending 18 years in prison. And I want to say it was Damian Eccles, the guy that they pinned the whole, like, as the ringleader, was on death row.
Really?
Yeah, and he spent every day of the 18 years in solitary confinement. He got 30 minutes a day outside of it. As a result, he can no longer see beyond 3 feet in front of him.
Seriously.
So Damian Eccles was who they had pinned as the ringleader of the murders, was actually on death row and had spent the entirety of the 18 years in solitary confinement, and he was given 30 minutes a day during that of time outside of his cell. As a result, he can no longer see beyond 3 feet in front of his face, which was the size of his cell.
Holy
he
cow.
Can't, he can't be anywhere without sunglasses. It was a real bad thing. And then, like, according to this lady, like, those are the people that do it. Like, if she was doing the investigation, she would have pegged him for it. And, like, the most messed up thing about it is they eventually, they weren't actually exonerated. They did what's called an Alfred plea, in which the state just says, like, hey, we had all this evidence. Essentially, it's, we'll let you off, but you can't sue us for wrongfully locking you up. All right, now here's the most fucked up part about that. I understand the state trying to protect itself, kind of.
Right.
However, the most fucked up part about this is it's because their sentence was ended with an Alfred plea. As far as the state of Arkansas is concerned, the case is closed, which means the actual murderer of those two kids, and will never face justice because the investigation will never be reopened.
That's wild.
Yeah. And back to my statement earlier about Aleister Crowley being a World War II like hero. Once again, so Aleister Crowley is this big noted occultist back at the turn of the century.
Right.
He started the OTO and the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. All these, like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Cults?
They're not necessarily called esoteric societies.
Ah.
Yeah, that was the word I was looking for. The actual term. So essentially, like, little secret get-togethers where they talk about, like, like, not necessarily like, oh, we worship, like, the devil or some shit like that, but, like, they did, like, seances and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So she was talking about how, like, he's this horribly evil man and he worships Satan. And I was like, wrong. He worships the Egyptian god Set. And then it was like, 2, he's a World War II war hero because, so if you guys didn't know about the Thule Society, all of the things about, like, the Nazis going after holy relics was due to the Thule Society within the Nazi party. And they were an esoteric society, like, I guess a division within the Nazi party. I don't know exactly what the hierarchy is there, but they were, like, top dogs. So, like, the whole thing with the Aryan race comes from Madame Blavatsky had a book about, like, the 7 races of man, and one of them was the Aryans, and that was the whole thing behind the Aryan race thing.
Oh, okay. We got the bird flu?
Apparently.
Nice.
Spearheaded by the Thule Society. And so Aleister Crowley is sent because Aleister Crowley is a British gentleman. They send him, the Brits do, just into Germany. They're like, hey, go see what you can find out. We're just going to drop you off. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'll have these dudes eaten out of my hand because he was incredibly charismatic.
Oh, yeah, he just made crap up at that point.
So he walks up to, like, this guard gate. And he's like, hey, I'm Aleister Crowley. I'm here to see the Thule Society. And this guy's just, like, some low-rank soldier. He's not in the party. He's like, what are you talking about? He goes, I'm Aleister Crowley. I'm here to see the Thule Society. And he's like, yeah, you're full of shit, dude. I've never heard of that. And he's like, call your supervisors. So he calls them, and they said, make him comfortable. We'll be there. And the whole Thule Society just, like, rides the fuck out to pick up Aleister Crowley. Yeah. And they thought that he was so on on their side that they told him, like, fucking everything. like, because they're like, oh my God, this is my bro. They're like, oh, it's bro, Aleister. Bro, you want to know where we keep the hooch hidden? And he's like, love to know where we keep the hooch hidden. And they tell him, and then he like leaves. He's like, "Yo, cops, man, they keep that hooch hidden up under the couch." And he's like, "Wow." Like, that's seriously kind of like what happened. Like, they were just so starstruck to see Aleister Crowley there that they just told him everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that was, and I guess that was the problem. And then like the guys that were there the next day, they were like, or that I had started taking the class with. I told them, I was like, I'm not coming back. I'm gonna take something else. Because this one's full of shit.
Yeah.
And they're like, what do you mean? And I was like, all right, time for me to reveal my secret. I'm into this shit. Because none of them knew. Nobody, like, you can't just be like, oh yeah, no. Like,
I'm really into cults. You can't tell
occults, the occult, serial killers, like all this weird shit. Like, I'm all about all that.
Yeah, it's really cool and interesting stuff.
Yeah, but you can't just like in fucking like small town rural Appalachia, can't just be like, yeah, so I was reading this ancient book on Hermes Trismegistus and how he taught Abraham of Worms how to conjure up the 12 angels of the hours. And
you still tell people that. Yeah.
Bring in luck. Yeah, like you can't.
This boy's the devil.
And that's actually, that story's not, that story's true.
Yeah, it's true out there.
That's folklore. That's out there.
Yeah.
Hermes Trismegistus, Abraham of Worms. Actually, he taught Abramelin. Hermes taught Abramelin. Abramelin taught Abraham of Worms. Anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I know all this shit. Like I could go on for hours talking about this, and they were like, "Well, how do you know she's full of shit?"
That's a live stream podcast one day. We'll just talk about cults and junk.
Oh fuck, man! Let's do it.
Right.
Can we do it if we're playing some stupid video game?
Yep.
Digimon.
Okay.
I was trying to think of a dumb game that we could get away with live streaming on and using like a ROM.
Well, that's probably it.
That the publisher's not going to give a shit. They're going to be like, hey, at least we're remembered.
Even the publishers forgot about Digimon. Hey, what's this Digimon thing? We should look into this. Oh, that's nice.
Like an old Digimon game from like PS1.
Yeah. Anywho.
Like this game is old enough to vote. It can technically run for representative of the state of North Carolina. Like, you're not getting any more money out of it. We're doing it because it's dumb.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm about that. So like I had to reveal my little secret and like why I was just so perturbed about all of like everything that was going on. And then even then, like the things that the teacher was saying, because I'm minored in emergency disaster management, which is a lot of stuff on like terrorism and environmental disasters and things like that. And so like I had some teachers that were like in the fucking know, man. Like one of my teachers or instructors at Western, he couldn't tell us who he worked for. We were all pretty sure he was CIA.
Probably. He worked for the State Department.
Huh?
He worked for the State Department.
Oh no, he was more than that. This was his job.
No, that's what they all say who work for the CIA. They work for the State Department.
Oh no, he said he was a contractor, but he couldn't tell us who he contracted
for the State Department.
And I was like, CIA. His job was
now they're listening. Enjoy the podcast.
His job was VIP transport.
Sweet.
During the early days of the Iraq War, that was one of the cool things he told us. Like he would, because so like we had the green zone, which was like the safe zone.
Yeah.
Right. The airport was outside the green zone. His job was to get like VIPs from the airport into the green zone.
Cool.
You don't just trust some guy with that.
No.
Now, that being said, his opinion I trust.
Right.
The things that he said about terrorist cells in the Middle East and stuff, I based on his background, I absolutely trust this dude. I love taking his class. Him and I had this understanding, which I'll get back to in a minute. But the guy, so it was a husband and wife teaching the class that I took at the fire school this past weekend. The wife taught occult stuff, and the husband was like all anti-Muslim stuff. It was like he was saying all these things. I'm like, that's not true. That's not. It's not like. And he didn't have anything to back it up. He just said, "Oh well, somebody told me this."
Fake
and
news.
Somebody told me this, and it was the same with her. I'm like, show me some research. Show me something in writing.
No sources.
That's like he made this big deal. He's like, can you believe that there are people in America right now who live under Sharia law? And I was like, absolutely I can. And he looked at me like, oh, what do we mean? And I was like, and he looked at me, he's like, how so? And I was like, well, if you stop looking at just what Fox News tells you that Sharia law is and actually look into it, it's not that dissimilar from like Old Testament law in the Bible. It's more than just like, oh, women have to be covered, this, that, and the other. It's things like you can't eat pork, you can't do this, you should only wipe your ass with your left hand. Like they were a lot like Old Testament rules or laws. It was more about like, hey guys, we live in the fucking desert. We can't eat pork because it will give us trichinosis.
Right.
But in the religious text, it's like, okay, God said not to eat this. And both of them are like, God said not to eat this. So there's more to Sharia law than just that. It's a whole like thing. It's just like people who live like the kosher lifestyle that are Jewish. And that's what I said. I was like, living under Sharia law is no different than living under like or than like the Hasidic Jews that live like in New York. Well, they live other places, but predominantly there's a bunch of them that live in New York,
right?
That live by like traditional Jewish rules and values. There's no difference between them and the Muslims that choose to live by Sharia law, or even Christians who choose to live by the law as stated in Leviticus and the Old Testament, things like that.
Right.
And he was like, well, I guess you're right. And I was like, I know I'm fucking right. I'm not an idiot. Like I know these things. Like I've had friends that were Muslims. Like they've explained a lot of this to me. That he's like, yes, there's parts in it like that say that, but here's my whole philosophy on that. If that's the lifestyle that you want to live, then by all means, fucking live it. I don't care if that's what you do.
Yeah, you just do you.
Don't say that I have to do it. Like as long as you're not telling me I have to do it, but that cool.
Yeah, if you're not hurting anybody, you do you.
Yeah, you do you.
Yeah, you do you.
I don't care what you like. If you want to go home and just be like, well, we're not gonna do this. Like, whatever you do in your own home, that's your business, man. Like, I don't care.
Don't care. Yeah. Is this affecting me? No, don't care.
Like, good on you for resisting the temptations of everything out there that's against what you believe in, and right on for fighting the good fight. But as far beyond that. Okay, I don't care.
Don't care. No, me either.
So yeah, with my hobbies and my education and things that I have like already know from like reliable sources, everything they were saying was bullshit, and I was like, well, I'm just not gonna do this anymore. So I took decision making for initial company officers. Nice. Again, technically, but it's been 7 years since I took it.
Yeah, you could always use a refresher course.
Yeah. The thing was I took it at the National Fire Academy.
Oh, well, don't get much better than that.
Decision making for initial company officers is a NFA class, National Fire Academy class.
Right.
I took it at North Carolina State Weekend in Emmitsburg, Maryland, at the National Fire Academy. The instructor was from Virginia, so like, okay, whatever. But when I took it this time, the instructor was from, it's still a NFA class. I'm just taking it remotely. But this time the instructor was from NCOSFM, and all of our things that we were going through and going over related to things that we deal with in North Carolina, in particular Western North Carolina, because that's where most of the people from this class come from.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool. And man, it was a lot of reviewing on building construction and smoke reading and things that honestly like is
you can use a refresher course on.
Yeah, it's few and far between as actual structure fires are.
Yeah.
Like you just don't get a chance to really think and use those things. And it also gave me some ideas for creating some training aids. So one of these days I'm going to sit down and make some training things like what we went through in the class, what we used. Of course, they're prepared by the NFA themselves.
Right.
But I can make some for my local department. So we're like, all right, guys, here's a cool thing that we can do. Here's how we. I could bore you forever, but yeah.
Sweet. Sounds like a pretty good weekend, I guess.
Got
to school some rednecks on some facts.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
apparently I wasn't the only one.
Who dropped out of the class?
Yeah, it was me and 2 others Friday night. Didn't come back Saturday. And I know that Pete and Gene, 2 of the guys from Shooting Creek I went with, they didn't go back either.
So that's at least 5 people.
Yeah, apparently she got into this thing how like the Pope is the leader of actually a demonic cult and this, that, and the other. And well, Pete's Catholic, so she starts going over this on Saturday. And like Pete just sits through it. He gets out of class and he's like, I'm going home. I'm not listening to her shit anymore. I'm done.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who is this lady? Well, don't out her on the internet, but man.
No, I'm not. I'm not gonna dox her. I'm just gonna say, like, if you're a firefighter or first responder and you are thinking of taking the domestic threats and terrorism class that you're gonna see coming up at the local fire schools, avoid that. If you want to know actual information about that,
hit us up on
resource. A good resource where I learned like a lot of like the occult stuff was Last Podcast on the Left. Those guys are fucking amazing.
Great podcast.
It's okay. It's entertaining.
Wild. Yep.
Yeah, it's 3 comedians who talk about like this weird shit that I'm into.
Yep.
So like they're dark subjects, but it's 3 comedians talking about it. So like if you like dark humor at all, it's totally worth the listen.
Last Podcast on the Left is great.
Have you listened to Wizard and the Bruiser?
No, you told me about it, but I've not gotten to it yet.
Yeah, Wiz Brew, man, those guys are awesome. And actually, Holden McNeely, who, if you listen to the last podcast, what's his name? Henry Zabrowski, like references him a lot. Holden McNeely, that he's on Wizard and the Bruiser, and he's a North Carolina boy.
Oh, right on.
I kind of want to like I don't know what his dietary things are, but like I kind of want to like overnight him some Bojangles because I know that struggle's got to be deep.
Oh yeah, anybody who doesn't live in North Carolina without access to Bojangles daily, it weighs on their heart.
Yeah, just be like,
here's some cheer wine and a biscuit.
Yeah. Some Cajun Supreme meal and like a 2-liter of cheer wine. Yeah. Just be like, yeah, I'm admit that you Holden.
keep doing the good work.
But yeah. So so if you want to learn that information on that kind of stuff, Last Podcast on Left is a great resource for all of that. As far as the terrorism stuff, just like go to FEMA's website and read. Mm-hmm. Like there's all kinds of documents out there about counterterrorism stuff. Don't take advice from somebody who heard it from somebody. Take it from somebody who knows something. And okay, before my the instructor that I love so much from Western. Yeah. Before you're like, well, he probably heard it from somebody. Yeah. But he was also with the Navy's Institute of Emergency Management for 20 years before going to whoever he worked for. But he did have an office in the Pentagon in the second ring. And so he wasn't just some fucking guy.
Yeah.
Like he did credentials enough, not.
He wasn't some guy. He was the guy.
He was the guy. Yeah. And God, now his name is escaping me. If you taught Tyler Parker, if you're watching this and you taught Tyler Parker in critical asset and infrastructure class at Western Carolina University in the fall of 2015, shoot us a DM. Yeah. I'd love to touch base with you again, man. You're like,
wasn't his name Steve?
No. What was his name? Dude, he was so cool though. Like, all right, so, and I'm not saying this to be, I'm gonna say some things now. I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm not trying to draw higher. It's just the way it is. Okay, so I was like the only comm major in the EDM program that I knew of, like, ever. Apparently, when I started doing that, they were like, "Oh my God, we've been trying to get this to happen for years, and this just now happened." Whatever. It's like, okay, cool, whatever. Cool. It was really cool. When I was in college, I wanted to work in disaster PR, and not necessarily like natural disasters, but like your company does bad, and you're ready for that. Okay, that's what I kind of wanted to do. Yep. And I thought minoring in EDM would help with that. But so makes sense. Almost all of the remaining people that have that as a minor were criminal justice majors. And most criminal justice people are fairly conservative, fairly similar background. Like, and I'm not trying to be mean and stereotype, but in my experience, that was the case. In all the classes I had, that was the case. Okay, so we would be sitting there, and he would open up for classroom discussion, and a lot of it would turn into an echo chamber.
Yeah.
And so, like, it was like the fourth week of class. I'm like, I'm so tired of everybody just parroting the same shit in different words. And the question was like, what could we have done to prevent ISIS? And everyone's like, oh, nothing. We did everything absolutely correct. It was inevitability. Blah, 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 blah. I was like, Mr. Parker, don't take out Saddam Hussein. You would have thought I just whipped my dick out and smacked the paper 3 times with it. They're looking at me like,
what?
How dare he?
What did he say?
How dare he?
What?
Yeah. And then like he gets a shit-eating grin on his face because he realized he's gonna be double that. He goes, go on. And I'm like,
you have my attention. Yeah.
I was like, look, man, Saddam Hussein was bad. Don't get me wrong, but he wasn't ISIS bad. And ISIS isn't new. The whole idea of an Islamic caliphate has been around for centuries. In fact, there's been 2 or 3 of them in recorded history. Now, I was like, so that's not a new ideology. That's been there. How come they haven't showed up till now? Because Saddam Hussein was killing them all. And that was my argument. Yeah, and then like, all of a sudden, there's people who are looking at me like I said. I just whipped my dick out and smelled the table. They were like, "Huh?" Like I could see gears turning, and he's just standing there like the happiest instructor I've ever seen. It's like, not Saddam, or he wasn't ISIS bad. Good thinking there, Mr. Parker. Way to be outside the box. Maybe you guys could think about things a little differently. And, we get done with class, or get in class. He's like, Mr. Parker sent me after class. Like, oh, fuck.
Sweet.
Like I thought I did good.
Yeah. I
was like, okay, maybe I took it a little too far. In which case, okay,
I get it.
I'm gonna ask you, and not the first one, not the last, whatever. And I go up, and he's like, Mr. Parker, I love your response. I was like, oh yeah. I just got tired of the echo chamber, man. Like, there's no exchange of ideas. There's no challenge to thought processes. Everybody's just agreeing with each other and patting each other on the back over like how correct they all are. And he's like, whenever class starts to get boring, he's like, I'm gonna give you a look, and you're gonna know what I'm talking about. And he goes, that's when I want you to say some stuff like you just said. And I was like, oh, deal. Absolutely deal. So I became like the dude that was saying some like off the wall ass shit. When it was just to like stimulate. And I I'm talking with this professor and stuff, and he's like, you seem a little bit older. And I was like, I am a little bit older, sir. And he's like, how old are you? I was like, yeah, I'd rather not say.
Oh, I'm old.
It's 26.
It's 26.
This was the class that I was taking after I was out of Western for 3 years. This was like the last I had to take. And that's a whole long story that we'll get into later.
Different story.
But essentially, I was just finishing my degree up. I was one class off. I was finishing it. And I told him, I was like, look, yeah, I stopped coming or going to Western, attending a couple years ago. I was like, I was a comm major, minor in EDM. I was like, I had to have an internship to graduate. And then I had this one class left I had to take. And I was like, but because I was a transfer student, see, that was the other thing. Like, I went to community college first and then transferred, and I just couldn't make all my classes fit because, so I had one class I was going to have to take over a whole semester. And I'm talking to him. I was like, yeah, so my internship turned into a full-time job opportunity, and I got laid off earlier in the year, so I decided now's the time to come back and finish my degree. And he's like, oh, this is a pretty smart man. He goes, I like the way that you think outside the box like that. And I was like, yeah, But yeah, no, he's cool. He's getting his his PhD from a university in Ireland, and everybody was like, one day they were asking him, they're like, "Oh, getting a PhD in Ireland, what's that like?" He's like, "There's always good whiskey," and I was like, "Oh, my man."
That's true. That is true.
One of these days, I'm going to take a trip to the motherland.
I'd love to go to Ireland one day.
I'm going to go back to Ireland.
I was watching the Grand Tour the other day. I think the latest episode. And they went to Scotland. And apparently there's this road here. Road in Scotland is apparently the best road ever to drive on. It's like the best touring road. Not just according to them. They went there because it was in an article. Somebody wrote like the best road trip was in Ireland. Or in Scotland. So I'm like, I'm going to need to go to Scotland. And that was a pretty cool episode.
All right.
Very pretty.
You know Scotland and Ireland are two different places, right?
Yeah, I know. I'm just drunk. I can't remember the difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, we should, if we're ever going to try to go visit Ireland, we should probably do that sooner rather than later.
Yep.
Apparently this whole Brexit thing is, there are people worried about a resurgence of the IRA should a hard border pop back up between North Ireland, which is technically part of the UK, who's leaving, and Ireland, which is its own independent country, who's still in the EU. So there's a lot of concerns over the hard border between North Ireland and regular Ireland, and that the IRA will commence attacking again to get North Ireland back under the fold of regular old Ireland.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like the Republicans versus the Unionists, I think is like the term. I don't
remember.
Yeah.
I'm not up on my Ireland history. We need Sam. Where is Sam?
Hey, you think we could get Sam on here to talk about that one day?
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Like, cause
I meant to ask him earlier, but I forgot.
Yeah, because he spent some time in Ireland, and so like it'd be interesting to hear his stories and the stories he heard. Huh?
Next week's episode, we'll have Sam on here.
Okay, that works.
Sweet.
We'll have to adjust the recording time.
Yeah.
Because one, we're gonna have to start earlier. 2, on our normal record day.
Work?
I gotta work. No, I don't. Fuck no, I don't. Yeah,
I don't know.
we can do whatever. Awesome. Never mind.
Any day's fine with me.
My days were going different.
Sam's listening right now. So, Sam, by the way, before you're gonna be on next week's episode.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, and since you're listening to this, could you reach out to some of your friends in Ireland and just find out, what exactly if these things that I've heard and read, if there's any validity to them.
I can open up Discord, see if he's still online. No, he probably went to bed already.
He is an old man at heart.
He normally goes to bed around 10. I say I'll pop him in here real quick.
I say that, but I sometimes try to go to bed around that time too.
Yeah, I try to go to bed at 10. Or at least lay down and attempt to.
It just, honestly, man, it just depends, if I'm playing a good video game. Video game.
Yep.
Hey, Jared's on Discord. You want to pop Jared in?
Is he in the chat? Or
no? It just says that he's active.
Oh.
I don't see him in the chat. Dude, okay, you know what I was thinking about today? You know what I miss? Tabletopping, man.
Oh, me and Sam was talking about that the other day.
Dude, for real?
Yeah.
Do you think we could do it over, like, I don't know, video chat or something?
Probably.
Because I was thinking about that, and I was like, man, I really miss doing that. And if I could, it'd be cool to get some people, around here to do it. Like, well, me and Brian talked about it a while back, and he's like, yeah, it was really fun. Like, he missed doing it, too. Like, and our crew's growing. So like, me, Brian, Marty, I'm sure Lucas would be down. I'm sure we could get Vance to be down. Like we could get some people together and do it. The problem is I've not played enough to consider myself a
no game master.
I can't be a GM.
No,
yet.
that takes some skill. Me and Stan was talking about the other day, and we played Pathfinder when we played. But we're just gonna get Dungeons and Dragons because apparently the newest edition is super easy. I've not seen it. I'm just going off what he said.
D&D 5.0 is apparently super easy, but apparently, what is the company that makes Pathfinder? Mm-hmm. Their retaliation is they're coming out with a second edition. It might already be out of Pathfinder.
Oh, really?
That keeps the high customization of Pathfinder. It keeps it makes it easier, but it still keeps some like the standardized rules. Because that was one of the things that people did like about Pathfinder was when you tried to do something, it wasn't solely up to your game master or dungeon master, whatever you want to call them.
Right.
It wasn't up to their discretion. Like in Pathfinder, there are rules. It's like, okay, if this is going on, then this. If this is this, and this is this, and this. So,
right. Plus, we just play with our own rules, anyways. It was more of a guideline.
Well, see, I would like to play like hard, fast, by the rules, like by the book. Like I would like to learn how to actually do that, and then maybe like I'm not trying to just be like, oh, it's all about me, but like
write a story
for a while, and I get really good. We get play a lot, get a lot of experience. Then I can like try my hand at writing a few adventures and.
I've tried it one time. It was hard.
Yeah, I can believe that.
Yeah.
I really can. I just don't. If you're in the Hayesville local area and you tabletop, whether it be, anything other than D&D 4,
yeah,
because apparently that was really bad. If you can DM any of DM any of the Dungeons and Dragons games or GM a game of Pathfinder, mm-hmm. and like not just say you can, but like have done it, hit me up.
Yep.
Yeah, because I'd be down.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
I miss being like my weird character. I was a half orc with charisma through the roof. So people hated me if they could see me. So Sam just decides he's like, all right, here's what we're going to do. As long as they can't tell who said what, you're going to pass all your charisma checks. But if they catch you talking, you're going to fail everyone after that. And I was like, okay. Yeah, because I was a super charismatic half orc.
Oh yeah, good times.
They were good times.
Good times. So I noticed you got a new Instagram name.
Yeah, to match my Twitter handle change.
I'm gonna have to update all of our spots.
Oh, sorry, dude.
Oh man, I don't give a crap. I'm just gonna update the new ones. I ain't gonna do the old stuff.
Yeah, that's fun.
It's cool though. Let's think about changing mine, but I don't want to. I don't like it.
The Logan Rickett?
Yeah, the Logan Rickett. It's classic, easy.
It is.
But Wandering Parker's pretty cool. Like, I don't know if I can think of something creative like that.
You could be the Wandering Logan.
Boom.
Yeah, and I was also thinking, since we are the long road, like being like Road Crew Parker.
That doesn't sound very good, though.
Yeah, it's not as good as Wandering Parker. I know, but it was a thought. It was just thought.
I know, it was yeah.
Jeez, man. I gotta criticize me so hard, man.
I know.
My esteem's low these days. I know. I get the doldrums.
I'm not even gonna edit this out. I'm gonna leave all this in here.
Look, you know I get the winter doldrums, especially since we had to cancel the freaking midwinter fish fry.
You blame your twin cousin.
Yeah, you know what? It was him.
It was.
He left the Gators out.
He did. He let the Gators out. He's bad news.
The freaking midwinter fish fry, man. That's the Catalina wine mixer of fish fries.
Everybody knows that. That's just common knowledge.
All the best people are there.
My cousin James, he's there. He's life of the party. Your cousin Jimmy Two Hats, life of the party. Only life of party. This is life of the party parties. Like it's the cream of the crop parties.
You know Kanye West?
Yeah, his cousin
not
was there.
him. No, yeah, not him. But like his third cousin's barber was coming.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Yeah, like he.
Like he was,
it's a who's who of almost famous people.
He's going to do $10 shaves. He normally charges $12. That's a deal.
I mean, the $12 shaves. Yeah, that's the deal too. if we're being honest, he can charge full price at them rates.
Yeah.
Yeah, but thanks to Gerald with a J.
Ruined it again. It's always next year.
Thing is, if I tried real hard, I might could get some gator tail on the cheap.
You know
Here's
that?
the problem. Here's the problem.
What?
We're already past midwinter.
So it would just be like a
late winter fish fry.
late winter fish fry.
Which is the great value brand version of the midwinter fish fry.
Yeah. The late winter fish fry is always put on by the worst people.
Yeah. You know who has that?
Who?
People not cool enough to come to the midwinter fish fry.
Exactly. They happen to be busy on the midwinter fish fry. They're like, I'll just throw another one next week. No.
Or people who are jealous of how cool the midwinter fish fry is decide to make their own midwinter fish fry, and then they're like, you know what? I forgot to do this.
I forgot to make coleslaw again.
I forgot to do this, and I forgot to do that. And the next thing you know, it's late winter, and they're like, well, it's the late winter fish fry. I'm like, yeah. Ain't the midwinter fish fry, is it?
Well, I think we just ended on that note. I'm all upset about the midwinter fish fry still.
Yeah.
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 Subscribe or something.
If you want to see the midwinter fish fry happen next year, hit that like button.
Hit that like button.
Hit that like button.
Yeah. You want to invite to that fish fry, you better leave a comment.
If you want to help me make sure that Gerald with a J never gets a hold of another knife, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
Go ahead and hit that like button while you're down there. They're just right next to each other. Who cares?
Like, subscribe, leave a comment.
Slide in them DMs. You want that RSVP?
No, you know what? All right, here's the deal. This is what I want in the comments this week.
Yeah.
And I don't think I want to get it. I want your best coleslaw recipe.
Yeah, here's what's your coleslaw recipe. Jared, I'm talking to you. You're the only one that comments on our videos.
Can I don't know. I don't know if coleslaw is keto friendly. I have to look into that.
It's mayonnaise.
I don't know how many carbs are in mayonnaise. There's a lot of fat in mayonnaise. So mayonnaise may be on. Coleslaw might be on the table.
Oh. Jared, give us that coleslaw recipe I know you got.
Here's what we'll do. Everybody that submits coleslaw recipe in a couple weeks. I'm not going to give a definite date. A couple weeks. I'll go up to Logan's house. We'll cook every kind of coleslaw recipe that we get, and we will blind
test coleslaw. I don't even like coleslaw.
We will have a third party to disseminate the coleslaw in a double blind sort of thing, like what they do with erectile dysfunction medication.
Right. Once they're both placebos, but you don't need to know that.
But yeah, and then we'll figure out who has the best coleslaw.
KFC.
And if you come at me with that mustard-based coleslaw bullshit, you're out. Ever tell you about that? Did you know people make that?
Yeah, that was on a last podcast. We talking about the mustard-based coleslaw bullcrap. Anarchy.
I'm still perturbed over that.
I'm still mad about that too.
I've contemplated writing my senator about that.
You know who has mustard coleslaw? Late winter fish fries.
Yeah, I've never seen a late winter fish fry that didn't have mustard coleslaw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Everybody's got to know. You got to have God's coleslaw.
Mm-hmm. Complete anarchy.
Yep. All right. Oh yeah. Before I go, I heard an interesting thing today. Did you know, Logan, that your vehicle right now has boost to the motor?
Do what now?
So you know, like turbochargers, superchargers create boost.
Yeah.
Right. Do you know that every engine naturally has boost on its own? It's God's boost. It's 14.3 psi, which is the atmospheric pressure around the world. It's God's boost.
Oh.
Can't disable God's boost.
Nope.
Well, except for that one Tesla car. Not that it needed it anyway.
No. Good to know.
Yeah.
Good
I heard that term.
I'm getting stickers made.
What?
I'm getting stickers made.
14.3.
Yeah, 14.3
God's boost.
Got that God boost. Yeah, I'm getting stickers.
We should make a parody of Kanye's ultralight beam. It's like, because it's like, this is the ultralight beam. We on the ultralight beam. This is a God dream. This is God boost.
Heck yeah.
14.3. We got the 14.3. This is a boost. This is God's boost. We gon' bust loose. I actually feel bad about that. I really like ultralight beam. All right, guys, we're gonna let it go. Logan, any last words for the fans, the folks at home, keeping the lights on for us here?
Yeah. Yeah. Keep up the good work. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, keep up the good work.
Keep up the good work.
There's literally a couple of you out there that watch our show, and we appreciate every one of you.
Shout out to Sam and Jared. I know you guys are hardcore fans. I don't know who else listens. We have like 20 views. I don't know who you are.
Or
if you make the last one got like 20.
Last I checked, it was 8.
No, it went up past 8.
We got more than 8. Honestly, guys,
I don't know who's watching it.
I don't know who's watching this, but we appreciate you.
Yeah,
God, we appreciate it.
I hope you made it this far. We're an hour in. I don't know who makes it this far.
I
know Sam listens to road trips. Shout out another Sam again there.
Sam and Jared.
Sam and Jared, keep up the good work.
Yeah, all right. Sam and Jared, since you're gonna listen this far, we should do like a 4-way.
Yeah, all 4 of us be on here. We can do it.
And I don't know what we're talking about, all 4 of us. I know one topic. Parker can't game.
It's true.
I'm really bad at it. I played. Man, what's that game that we played? Overwatch. Played Overwatch with these cats one night. It just was terrible. I will say, I loves Junkrat. Any character whose main weapon is a grenade launcher is all right in my book. Didn't help. I've got like apparently the one character you don't have to aim with. You just got to get in their general vicinity.
Just lob it.
Did not matter. Did not matter at all. Parker can't game. It's a fact.
Right
Maybe
on.
we should start live streaming that as just me sucking at every video game ever. I do love playing them, but God, I suck. Actually, I'm pretty good at like JRPGs.
We can do that.
What, live stream JRPGs or games I suck at?
Yeah, both.
Okay, I'm cool with that. I'm actually working on Final Fantasy IX right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you were slightly entertained today, if you I don't know, we chased your doldrums away for just a bit there. Go ahead and show us the love with that little like button, clickety click. Come on. If you like hearing what we say and you want to hear us say it more often,
Yeah.
on a weekly / semi-weekly / whenever we get around to it basis.
Yep. So the same schedule as always.
Go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
Yeah.
If you think that your coleslaw reigns supreme, go ahead and just hit us in the DMs or in the comments. I don't care. If you don't care, I don't care.
I don't care. Yeah.
All right. Well, that being said, my name is Tyler Parker, and you can find me on my social media now at Wondering Parker.
New handle.
Twitter and Instagram. You can check Logan out at the Logan Rickett on Twitter and Instagram. check out The Long Road on Facebook, man. Logan does a good job with that. He posts a lot of cool pictures and stuff, some motivational stuff, things that he got going on. Also on our Instagram at The Long Road. Endeavor, right?
Endeavor, yeah.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that's
The
right,
Long
brother.
Road. Endeavor.
Yeah.
Once again, Logan keeps that up to date, and I say Logan because I don't know what all the logins are. Never. That my camera sucks. So
it's password 01. Come on, man.
oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I made it super easy.
All right. Well, that being said, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, keep it between the ditches.
Unless you're off road, then put it wherever you want.
Yeah, keep it between the ditches unless you're going off road, then put it wherever you want to.
Yep.
As always, good luck, Godspeed, try not to die. It's the only time I get to listen to the song now is that clip at the end of our video.